It is episode 58 of Working Class on DeerCast. 58.
Man,
Getting up
chugging right along.
Yeah, we are. Thanks for being here, fellas. We're recording. Sorry, disclaimer. We're recording this while some construction's literally happening behind Doug and Eric.
Yep.
So if you hear some noise, there's nothing we can do about it. It's part of the gig. This is really the most working class episode. There's a guy's working right there. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate the support this year, coming into the end of the year here. Doug, this episode's all about you, and I'm tempted to leave because when we did the episode about my buck, you didn't show up.
I'm sorry.
So I might just get up and go have a beer outside of the studio and let you figure it out.
I'll just leave too, and it'll just be him by himself.
Whoa.
Just reminiscing.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I don't do it with my hands.
So, yeah, it's all awkward.
Quick plug, if you're listening to this and you don't currently have DeerCast and use DeerCast as a weather tool, a social app, video content,
Mapping. I mean, there's everything.
Everything's
everything you
in it
need
now.
is there.
I highly recommend get in there, grab DeerCast, because everyone that calls me to ask, hey man, I hit this buck here, what do you think? I'm like, if you had DeerCast, you wouldn't be calling me right now.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
you have DeerCast track.
That's right.
So get on DeerCast, check it out. If you're not subscribed already, there's different levels of subscription, I guess. So find the one that fits you and try it out. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Doug, what's up, man? You killed a deer.
Finally.
And this chip bet just got weird.
It's got spicier.
It did get spicier. This is actually the latest buck I've killed with a bow.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the date on it?
26.
Of November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, you never... You're efficient then.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty good. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
But yeah, it's actually been a pretty tough rut this year. So
Yeah.
It's a rough season so far.
Both
for
you
us.
guys, I think the chip bet jinxed you guys.
I think so.
Yeah, me and Eric talked about it during the rut. Like, maybe we should just go eat the chip.
Just get it over with.
Get it over with.
Together.
Yep.
Like
'Cause
before you killed your buck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we were seeing good deer, but man, like, it was like a radius. They would not come in at the shooting range.
What do you think it was? Just luck,
don't
bad
know,
luck,
just-
not getting the dial to the right
Bad
tree.
juju.
I mean, most of the
Because we made
time,
this bet.
Yeah.
most of the time it's like, the doe goes the wrong way. Or
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of like luck and chance when it comes to like details like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
I mean, if they just go one way,
yeah,
And we
buck's
were
dead.
seeing a lot of good bucks too. It was just like nothing
yeah.
would come in, or you'd move, and then they'd be, you know how you do that? You move, you're like, oh shit, the bucks are over there. So you move over there.
Yeah,
All
that's
of
a
sudden
game
they
you
were,
play.
Then they
Back
were
where you
over
were.
back where you were. And it's
Yeah.
like, God damn it.
that's a game you just play. You play that game all day.
Yep.
yeah, there's
Yep.
not much you can do. You just
The back and forth,
try your best.
cat and mouse of deer hunting. You'll
Yep.
burn yourself out doing that too, moving stands and. I think you're better off like, if you have a couple different properties or like trail cams are driving you nuts or something like that, you're better off sticking to your guns to a spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To a point.
So that's what I tried this year. I tried hunting back where me and Eric killed last year. And I mean, I was seeing good deer, but man, they would not come out of the cedar thickets. And I don't know. I've always,
Do you think that stretch of weird weather, like the east winds and all that stuff?
yeah, I mean, that really hot day on the second week of November.
We've
And
had
then,
a lot of weird winds,
Yeah.
and it got real warm during the rut,
then cold.
cold, and then it warmed back up. And I think it's just got the deer all wonky. They don't know what to think.
And this year has just been windy, just super windy.
the first 2 weeks of November are just windy and
Yeah.
weird.
Yep.
But we also that's where DeerCast came in clutch. It's like the cold fronts we had in October this year were so awesome.
Yep.
And it's like, you can see that through a normal weather app, but DeerCast is kind of like, if you're not hunting on Friday when this
You
cold
should
front
be.
comes in Friday afternoon, you better be, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right.
And I've always been a huge all day sit guy. So
Yeah, you do a lot of all day sits.
yeah, this year was a lot, but man, out in that wind, I don't know. It just,
When it's windy out too, I mean, the deer still move, just not as much. And then when you're sitting in that wind, it just
It's not
it-
motivating to
it
sit in
takes
the
it
wind.
out of you, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it's easier now because I mean, all our buddies and stuff, you're seeing bucks midday all the time. I mean, I've not seen them when I'm hunting, but you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a rut. I think it happened.
You never do know.
But anyways, I had a chance at a nicer one at 34 yards, but it was just too thick. I couldn't really get an arrow in there during the rut. So then my rutcation ended, and now it's like, that week in between the rut and Thanksgiving, like that week's just, I hate that week, but
You
you gotta go. And then come Thanksgiving week, I like a lot actually. and Lee agreed with me too that, I mean, I don't like the big bucks are trying to find the last does and just cruising. So I made it to there, and then I actually finally moved out of that one spot. I should have did this earlier because I don't know. I should have known it wasn't going to happen there, but you know, you committed to a spot.
Hindsight's 2020, man.
I mean, that spot just looks too good not to be there.
Yeah.
But so I finally moved back to where me and Eric actually killed some big bucks out of.
Yep.
And
good ridge.
I did it on Thanksgiving Day, and I walked back in there at, was it noon?
Yep.
And the first thing I see is like just a big one on the ridge. I don't know if he's like bedded on the ridge or something, but I was like, man.
And
like,
you bumped him.
Yeah, I just like clicked in your head like I should have been here way sooner.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I sat that night and had another big one come in. And this one was a really nice one, and he skirted me. But so then I went back. I had to do Thanksgiving Friday, and then I went back Saturday morning. And I mean, come around like first light, I saw a buck, and it was him. And he from the side, he didn't look, you know, he looked good, but when he turned, it was like that frame was just like, I mean, he's a tank.
Got you all excited once he turned.
Yeah. And he actually came in between where I walk in, and he downwind, and I was like, you know, he'll probably bust me. But so I grunted and snorted and wheezed at him, and he bust right through that wind, and
he's worked up enough. It didn't matter.
And he came in at the bottom of the ridge too, so I'm shooting pretty far down, like pretty steep angle. But the problem was I couldn't get him stopped. That was the big problem.
Are you're in the timber?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is like a big open acorns everywhere. Like, I mean, this spot is
right on top of a ridge.
That'd be a good mid-October spot.
Yeah. And he came in at 20, and I don't know, I couldn't stop him. I tried, and then I mean, I had the shot, so I took it, and with the lighted knock, I knew I hit far back right away. Mm-hmm. Not like, you know, terribly far back, but liver for sure. But
yeah.
I got lucky. He instead of jumping the arrow, he like went to turn, so he quartered away for me, and I got in there. I'm pretty sure I clipped one lung, but man, right when I hit him though, like he went 40 yards in the bottom, and he stood there for 20 minutes, like
trying to see how he was feeling.
Yeah, just trying to maybe see what was going on, but I knew he was hurting, a tail tucked and everything. And then he finally decides he's gonna go up the next ridge, and it's so open I can see the whole ridge. So I mean, I watched him for an hour try going up that ridge. I mean, every 20 yards he'd stop, and I'm like, man, maybe he'll go down. Over. Yeah, maybe he'll go down, maybe it won't. And then another buck came in, and then he started acting like, you know, put on that tough show. I was
really?
I was like, maybe I didn't hit him as good as I thought, but I could see the hole in him. I couldn't see that much blood coming out, but it was hard to tell at that point.
Yeah.
But he finally made it over the ridge, and you know, I called Eric and everyone, and like, you know, everyone's telling you I think everyone's trying to be nice, but you know, saying, oh, he's dead. Like,
I think if you hit a deer like that, I mean, they're gonna expire, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I
quartering away when he turned. You think it just,
and it took him an hour to go. I mean, this other ridge was not steep at all.
For the record, our crew will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
Yeah.
So if we're telling you dead deer, we all really think dead deer.
Yeah, no, I know, but
I know you know that.
And I shot him at 7 a.m, and man, it was a long wait. I had to wait. Everyone agreed that I should wait longer, so I gave him 7 hours. And in this spot, though, other people can hunt there too, so it's like a public spot. And there's just some other guy hunting there, and he's like, "Oh, I got some buddies coming to put stands up for shotgun." I was like, well, "Shit!" Like,
yeah, don't
like, all right,
you'd rather be the guy in there to bump him and see him, to see which way he goes.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, if you just give me till like noon, like I'll try making it work, and maybe he'll be dead.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, we can do that. So then the guys end up showing up, and they're actually going to a whole different area from where he bedded, like where I thought he went. So I was like, oh, perfect. So then I ended up getting until 2 p.m., so 7 hours. And I thought that was enough time, because the blood I sent you guys, I mean, there was blood everywhere. Like,
yeah.
I was like, man, maybe I did hit him better.
Good blood. The arrow looked good. I mean, we all figured that's a dead deer.
Yeah. I mean, it was liver blood for sure, but there was some, I think, lung blood in there too.
Yeah.
And there's no guts on it at all. So I must have just hit solid liver and caught a lung. But I waited till 2, went down there, found the blood, and I got over that little ridge, and then I saw a rat get up and leave. And I knew it was him right away, and I was just like,
How far was he when you jumped him?
From where I shot him, probably less than 200 yards. So he made it over that ridge and bedded down.
Just went right down
the next bottom. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So hindsight 2020, I should have probably waited till the morning, but there was rain coming too. So I mean, the odds were against me.
And there was a lot of rain coming.
There's a lot of rain. It rained
people in there trying to hang stands for gun season. You got rain coming.
All the odds are against you at this point.
Yeah. So we bumped him, and then I just marked it, put my arrow there, and say, well, just come back. And then, everyone I talked to said he'll be dead within 100 yards from where, the first bed.
Yeah.
Which I agreed with because, he didn't make it far from where I shot him.
Yeah.
Bedded down.
And
pretty much went straight and bedded.
Yeah. He got out of the area and bedded, and then, so I go back. It rained all night, rained all day Sunday on me while I was looking for him. I had 3 guys with me, and, man, I could not find any sign of him. And we walked, a huge radius. I walked 8 miles that day trying to find him, and I don't know. I couldn't see where he went. Nothing to go off of.
8 miles, but you're putting in work.
Yeah, and with 3 guys, we were searching everywhere. But while we were searching, towards the end of the day, one of my buddies jumped up a doe and a big 8-pointer. He said it was estimated a split G2. He said he couldn't see, it was too thick, but he said it was a big 8. Got up, and the doe ran away, and the buck bedded back down. And I was like, man,
that sounds weird.
And this was pretty far from where we were, so I should have known it wasn't mine. But
at the same time, when you hear a big 8,
and how many big 8s are running around that area,
Yeah, and that's weird behavior. What he explained.
And he bedded back
down.
down.
He bedded back down.
And he said because I tried sneaking around with my bow to get to him, and he must have heard me or something. And he said he got up and left, but when he was leaving, he was walking weird, just not right. So I was so we marked that spot. I tried getting an eye on him, sneaking around and see if I could find him, because it was raining, so I could sneak around. But
try and get another arrow.
I never saw him. And then now I didn't know really what to do. And this was Sunday, so I had to go back to work Monday. And I was sitting there, I was like, man, staring at the map, because you can track where you walk. So I knew where I was, and I was like, man, there's a huge, if he made it across that big field, I was like, because there's a huge creek on the other side, and I was like, man, if he made it over there, he might,
be in that creek.
I'll probably never find him. But
yeah.
So then I think it was eating away at me, so I was like, all right, I got to go back. So my uncle went with me, and I was waiting for him where we park, and I could see some crows, and I was like...
Because you went in, the following Wednesday?
Yeah. So it's been quite a while. At that point, you're
body searching.
Well, and that, too, that was one of them weeks where it got up to 70s.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? In the middle of that, then cooled back off is one of them deals.
Well, yeah, but shout out to you, though, for making the effort. I think a lot of guys be like, I don't know. And then they just continue to hunt.
Yeah.
We could all tell it was eating at you.
Oh, dude, it was...
That type of situation always eats your soul.
Yeah,
man.
I was just staring at that map, where could he have gone? Because we searched, And then, so I'm parking, I'm waiting for my uncle, and I see 2 crows, and I've never really went off that, but I've heard, it doesn't hurt to go look, right?
Yeah.
So we go back to where we had my last arrow, where we jumped in the first time, and my uncle just searched around there, and I was like, well, I'm going to go check out where those crows were. So I'm getting closer to him. I can hear them. I thought I only heard 3, but man, I got up there, and there's probably 20 of them flew out. And I was like, he's got to be in here. And I could start smelling something dead. And I found him pretty fast, actually. And then the worst part is on Sunday is I missed him by 1 ridge, towards the truck. I don't know why he would go that way, but...
Yeah, because you were marking where you were walking all day, and then...
missed him by, I don't know...
100 yards?
Less than 100 yards.
Oh, man, that makes it worse.
Yeah, and...
well, you recovered him.
If you didn't have that rain, you probably would have followed blood the whole way, to him.
Yeah, if it didn't rain, I probably just would have waited till the morning if rain wasn't coming, but...
Yeah.
What can you do?
Puts pressure on you, make a decision. What are you going to do? I think with that rain, even if you wouldn't have been in there and bumped him or whatever, you still would have body searched.
Yeah. What can you do at that point? But I found him, and he wasn't... it was pretty cold. There was maybe one 50-degree day, but he was not that bad, actually. The meat and stuff's all gone, but...
that's a bummer, yeah.
At least I found him, recovered him, and
You did your job.
Yeah, you're doing what you can do.
Yep.
Yeah, it just
Everyone's
it
like,
sucks.
there's gonna be somebody out there listening to this and be like, well, I would have done this, and screw you for this. It's like,
Yeah.
no, man, it's just.
I went out and walked
things-
8 miles that next day. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah, you tried.
Yeah.
yeah. The part that messed us up was seeing the other deer, and he was way not even close to where he was laying.
Yeah, that kind of
And
threw a
just
stick in your.
We
thought
might have
process.
searched over there if we didn't see the other one, but I got him. It worked out.
Yeah,
I
it
still
worked out.
found him.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those situations. There's no playbook to be like, what's the right call here? Because no situation's the same.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you just do what you think is right in that moment, or the best ethically or morally, and whatever, same difference. But your brain's going 1,000 different directions to try and
Yeah.
figure out how you need to recover the deer as your responsibility as a hunter to find a wounded deer.
You're studying that map. Like, okay, where could he go? Well, he could literally go anywhere.
Yep.
And this piece is huge. I mean, it's
It's a huge chunk.
Well, I also want to say too, we know a lot of people, and I mean, I don't really consider like it might not be a friend, but we all have heard about the guy or talked to the guy who wounds a deer, and he's like, he's probably not dead, and didn't put any effort in for the
Oh,
recovery
100%.
because it was too much
yeah,
work.
like we lost blood at 200 yards, and
Yeah,
I
he's
was like-
probably alive. It's like,
Yeah.
whoa, what? What are you doing?
Right.
You have a responsibility here.
you got to follow it up somehow.
Yeah, you wounded an animal. You have to take responsibility for this now. It's time
100%.
to put in some work. This is where the real work
Yeah.
starts.
boots to the ground.
Don't do that. It's disrespectful to the animal. So shout out to you, Doug, for putting in that
Thank you.
extra
Yeah,
effort.
congrats, buddy. I'm happy for you.
Yeah. So you did recover your buck,
I did.
and that puts you in.
It's a tank of an 8-pointer.
It is a tank of an 8-pointer, dude. So if you guys are listening audio, we have the rack. Hold that baby up. We got. You probably want to show it to this camera right here. Yeah, money. I don't know if you can see in the viewfinder, but Doug's showing the buck off on the DeerCast video. So left split G2, good twos, good
Yep,
threes.
Good threes.
No brows, but really cool mass, and like his left beam, like it looks like it like melted and then kept growing back on the
Yeah.
track it wanted to.
He's a huge body. It was huge body. I mean,
He's an older deer.
yeah, for sure older deer, but I'm happy with him. I mean,
Yeah.
100%.
I put in the time and it finally happened.
Yeah, he's a stud. I got to measure him still for the chip bet because Eric's
Yeah.
in the
We can't
fourth
release the
quarter.
score.
I'm in the fourth quarter.
How you feeling, Eric?
It hasn't kicked in yet just because we're kind of on a
Break.
break because we have gun season in Iowa right now, so we can't
Yeah.
bow hunt. But I think come the 19th, when the first day back out, it's going to be pressure on. It hasn't hit me yet, but it will.
Yeah, I don't really feel like you're that nervous about eating this chip though.
I still feel like if I handled that pepper somewhat okay.
I think the difference between the pepper and the chip is like the chip, you actually have to like chew it all up and it gets
Yeah.
all over your mouth.
That's what I do with the pepper too, because it was so dry.
No, that's a good point. It's a good point. I don't know. We'll tell. I guess,
we'll find
Time will
out.
tell, I guess.
we'll have a review. We'll video it for sure. I don't know if we'll live stream it, but we'll for sure video it. But I want you to pull it off in the fourth quarter just because Doug didn't show up for my podcast. Does
I got some of my bucks are starting to show back up again, so I'm
that make you nervous, Doug?
I mean, I can still get. I can get another. I can get my late muzzleloader tag and use my bow. I mean, I can go shoot a bigger one.
good. But you're not.
I might.
I know you. I know you.
love how-
You're tagged out. You're not going to.
I love how
More
weird
time
it
you
is.
do.
That's true.
Well,
It's not
boys,
as good a spot though.
it's spicy out here. So will there be a bet next season between you two?
Yeah.
No.
Eric says yes. You say no. So you if Eric brought up a new bet next year, you'd turn it down.
I'd listen to it.
You'd hear him out.
You entertain it.
I'd entertain.
It is really like for us, it's entertaining as heck to just watch it and stuff. And I think listeners enjoy the
I think we need to make a group bet.
banter. A group bet? Like what do you mean, like as a group?
Like
Like
all
a
five
tattoo
of us.
bet. I guess I don't have very good stances on making bets with the group with deer because I already got one tattoo.
The problem is like the bets you're making are like bettable bets. Like you know, you don't take a bet if it's like no, that's
Yeah,
of
like
course.
you're not like the
It's
underdog
not like
in the bet.
the bet you and Steve made, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a perfect example.
You know what I mean?
Like, so if people don't know about that, we talked about on the show. We were doing a live podcast at a trade show, so there was like a crowd, and
Yep.
Steve was trying to be like
Trying to be funny.
be big man and
He
be
had a
funny.
few drinks.
He was actually, I think he was trying to be funny, but he was serious when he made the bet. Like I think he
Oh,
thought
he was for sure.
he was going for a Hail Mary.
Right.
So he tried to do it in front of a group, which kind of made me like a little like all right, yeah, I'll take your bet.
Yeah.
You know, like
That's like
can't
me.
turn it
That's like
down.
me making the same bet with Mark Drury.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
You know what I'm
pretty
saying?
close.
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
But so Steve had that pet turtle. So if you guys ever hear those turtle jokes, that's where this feeds in. Like people are posting turtle soup recipes in the group, and then other people who don't know, they're like, "What does this have to do with bow hunting?"
Right.
So, yeah, Steve basically, long story short, called me out. I bet you I kill a bigger buck this year than you. And I said, okay, what do you want to bet? And then he couldn't think of nothing. And I was like, okay, if I beat you, then we get to take your turtle. And then Eric's like, we're going to throw that baby in a crock pot and have turtle soup. So turns out Steve lost and his
And the turtle went MIA.
it's in
turtle's
witness
on
protection
yeah.
somewhere. I heard on the recent Thoughts from a Steve series on our Patreon. So thank you, Patreon subscribers. He was, I skimmed through him and like listened to him and like make
Right.
sure everything's good before I put him out there. And he said, he's like, I don't even know where it's at. It's in witness protection. Because I haven't seen that turtle in like a year. So it's dark out there. So
The
no,
thing can't be alive still, can it?
I don't know. No, so no bets next year. Because I know a lot of guys do deer hunting bets. I've never been a fan.
Oh,
because-
we've got a lot of messages of people like, I mean, I think they've made their own chip bets with their friends and everything too.
Oh, really?
I think we have bets on bets going.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's been great for the podcast because people are loving
like
it.
bets on your guys' bet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like,
Oh, that's interesting.
people are betting against other people who's going to win the bet.
Oh, yeah. Fun. Side betting.
Side bets going.
I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing for like hunting camp, like camaraderie. Like that's
Oh,
part
yeah.
of like the culture is like doing that. Like, you know, like the hat slaps and cutting your shirt tail off and
Oh, 100%.
like stuff like that's funny.
Just adds to everything, you know.
Yeah.
I'm entertained by it, man. I've had a great time watching you guys banter because it's all friendly stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
For sure.
But also, neither one of you guys really wants to eat that chip.
I mean, nobody
No.
wants to eat the chip.
I don't know.
We knew we'd had fun with it though. I mean, we're gonna be happy with whoever wins the bet, but
Yeah.
it's just a friendly
Well,
bet.
the tattoo bet we did as a group, that was like the last person to shoot a deer had to get a tattoo.
Yep.
And it was was it a buck or any deer?
Any deer.
Any deer.
Any deer, yeah. So, and yeah, you just had a long season that year and were just the last person to kill you because you ended up shooting a deer that year.
Yeah, it was down to me and Jordan Johnson,
Oh, crap, it was.
and like everyone's tagged out, and me and him were the only ones still hunting. And I'm like, well, someone's got, and he ended up shooting a doe.
Yeah. Somehow Steve pulled a Hail Mary. It was like the third one to get one.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. we should do it. But
Hey,
the tattoo,
There it is.
I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of jealous.
it turned out awesome.
It's a fun tattoo with a great story. So that was worth it, actually.
Yeah, 100%.
I watched you get it. We got it in the kitchen, which was even cooler.
Airbnb tattoo.
by a legit tattoo artist, for the record. We're not going to call him out, but yeah, great tattoo. I'm like, man, I kind of want one of them too.
Right.
You know, it's just kind of neat. So, I don't
out
know,
great.
Dougie, how you feeling? Pressure off? How you feel about your season? Give me like a season recap.
Pressure's off a little bit, but anything could happen still. I mean,
Yeah.
there's some time left. And deer start coming to food and more patternable.
You think
But,
you're going to try and get another one with the bow?
Yeah, I might. I go to my parents a little bit here and there. I got some good old stomping grounds and some public I could try.
That'd be kind of fun.
Never know out there.
Yeah, that's a cool thing about
Wild,
it.
Wild West.
You don't have to really stress out about like pressure as much.
No, yeah. Public land late. No one really cares anymore.
Yeah.
Usually too cold out for people.
Yeah.
Eric could pull off this Hail Mary though, man, and pull it off the next couple weeks.
He could.
I will.
I'd rather he not.
I'd rather you not. I'd rather you not.
You would bet.
I'll bet you a chip that I pull it off. Dude, you had to eat two of them because you
I think once you ate one, you'd be fine eating the other one because
Might as well just throw it in there.
at that point, if you're gonna die from spice, you might as well just double down and really die. You know?
just extra die.
Yeah. Well, that story's quick, but we've kind of talked about it here and there.
We talked a lot about it, like in our seasons and stuff, but I don't know. It was a long one.
It was definitely close though for us just saying screw it and eat the chip, both of us. Like get this curse out from
It
underneath.
was weird.
Of us.
It felt like a curse.
I love it. I love it. Well, you know, how many all day sits did you do this year? Like from dark to dark?
Probably did 15.
That's a lot. Mm-hmm. That is a lot.
I
of
didn't do
time.
that many, but I had my fair share this year.
Yeah,
a lot more than
so-
last year. I can tell you that.
It's a lot to think about when you're in the stand.
So when you say all day sits, so I consider there's two categories of all day sits. There's you get into the stand or saddle or whatever you're in, and you're there from daylight to dark, and you didn't move. And then an all day sit I also consider as like if you get down, make a move and get back in for wind direction or whatever it might be. Those are both all day sits in my book.
For me, all day sit is once you're in the stand, you ain't leaving the stand.
Yeah, I think I got down like twice and took a nap.
Like just at the base of the tree.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? That you're still hunting all day. You're just making a different move.
You're making a move, yeah.
It's the same difference.
But most
right.
of the time, like you climb up and you don't climb down till dark.
I would say that's both all day sits because there was times where the wind direction would switch and you had to move stands or something.
True.
Dude, I sat in a saddle one day before I killed my November buck, and I think I was 10 hours in the saddle, and I was like pretty exhausted.
I don't know if I could do a saddle all.
Yeah.
Well, I got down, so I hunted in the morning, saw some deer moving because I did the hanging hunt, and I realized I was like, it was one of those things like, oh, I'm in the wrong tree. Like, this is still a good tree. Like, if I committed time to this, I'd get an opportunity. And I almost I drew back on a buck, and I didn't feel right about it, so I let down. But I moved to where I saw that buck come out of where I would have had a better shot. So I sat, was like, okay, I'm close, but I'm a little off. Guess and check. And I got down and moved again, and then I sat for the rest of the day. And that's when Trey called me when he was coming in to hunt. That's when he called me. He's like, dude, all my stuff fell off my truck.
Oh, shit.
That's that same day. And I'm like, oh, no. Not good. Well, Dougie, congratulations.
Thank you.
This is kind of a quick podcast, straight
straight to the point.
All meat and taters. That being said, we have some long WCB podcast coming, so we're going to make up for a shorter DeerCast podcast this week. And then this is lunch break length, man, so this is actually perfect.
Yeah.
We're right where we need to be on this episode. We have some really long WCB podcasts coming. When I say long, we're talking 3 hours type long. So we appreciate you guys supporting us when we do the long episodes.
Yeah. 100%.
We appreciate you guys supporting Working Class on DeerCast. Some exciting news. We're continuing to run this series.
Yep, next year.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
I should say the long nights of thinking about what happened, I did look up on DeerCast, and it did say that lower in the back liver, I mean, the deer could have gone a mile.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking there, and then it said give it 13, 14 hours. So I probably should have waited in the morning, but
You had everything against you, dude. Like,
it's...
I think anyone here or listen to this would be like, I would have done the same thing because you had rain coming. You had guys going in there to hang stands.
Yeah.
It was going to get warm out.
It's hard to sit and think, but I should have done that differently.
Right.
People are going to tell you should have done it differently.
yeah. And shout out to David and Jacob. I mean, they walked all day with me Sunday in the rain.
That's very cool of them. Shout out to those guys.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, dude, don't beat yourself up over it. It is what it is. You did the best thing that you thought was right, and you made an effort, and you recovered the deer. But yeah, there's going to be somebody in the comments that's going to say, Doug should have done this. It's like, well, hey, man.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's hard to make those decisions. That's why deer hunting is hard and challenging, because it's not just cut and dry, see a deer, shoot it, recover it. There's a lot that can play in, and a lot that the mental game will eat you alive if you're not careful.
Even if you recover them right away, there's always things you're like, I should have done this different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
You know what I mean?
Yep. It's tough, dude. You got to make them calls in the heat of the moment when you maybe aren't thinking as clearly as you normally would be or should be.
Right.
You got them. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Proud of you, buddy.
Killing it, man. Killing it. Eric,
Thanks, boys.
you got this, man.
Yep, I got it.
Bring her home. Bring her home.
for the home team.
Yep. I want to see that upset just because Doug didn't show up for my...
I hope you get one.
podcast.
I just hope it's smaller.
yeah. That's the other thing. It's got to be bigger.
Gotta be bigger than Doug's.
Yeah. So I can measure that thing today and I'll know how big it is, but you guys won't. So,
True.
all right.
How big do you think it is?
143 and an eighth.
Okay. Got to beat that then.
I'm going 142 even.
I'm going 142 and 6/8.
Just right in between.
I like that. Okay. Thanks, guys, for tuning in, listening, watching on DeerCast. Thanks for the support. We appreciate the heck out of you. Good luck for the rest of your season. We're fourth quarter, but there's still a lot of time left. There's more time than you think. So get out there, stay calculated, and put in the work. You know what to do. Go shoot a giant. We love you. Peace.